So guys, this is Elizabeth.
Hey,
She's just making sure that I say her name correctly and not call her Elisa or Elizabeth.
Lilibet.
Lilibet. Yeah. People call people.
Oh, we can call me Lilibet if you want.
Why Lilibet? What does that come from?
Elizabeth.
From
Queen
the
Elizabeth.
There's a princess name.
Wow. So, Chichi, you'll be happy to know we've got someone to back up your Mjolo stance.
I don't know.
Wow. No, because you always talking that you're from the streets, right? So Elizabeth is going to put it into a more formal way and try and make it make sense to all of us.
Hold on. The streets have a formal...
Yeah, we've got the law. We've got the law.
The laws actually
The law.
Yeah. That's why Chichi is,
The law.
she's got her boss hat on today.
The law is involved too when it comes to Jolly. What you talking about?
Elizabeth, tell us more about Mjolo, right? The fact that apparently I'm really not versed in it. I don't think anyone's very versed in it, so that's why you're here, to educate us. Civil partnerships, what is that in plain English?
In plain English, a civil partnership is an understanding between a man and a woman.
Okay.
That they're together and that they have a life together. They have an interdependency. So let's say that dependency could be financial, or they could have children together. But what they must do is they must have some form of recognition by the public. That is what a civil partnership is. It requires a certain number of years of being together.
What's the minimum?
Normally it's 2 years at family law and at common law.
Okay.
But our Marriage Act didn't specify the period.
So it can be 1 month?
It did not specify.
Okay.
But what it means really is that people who are having relationships and they are known to be a common factor are now in a civil union, which if they decide to leave, one decides to leave the other one, they're now subject to the Matrimonial Causes Act, as if they were married.
Hold up.
No, wait. I'm worried.
Y'all shaking up.
This could actually be very beneficial for some of us who don't really know where we stand and stuff like that. Like, you're not married, but you've been together for so long. So if anything happens and I want to take some legal action, I can actually be a spouse. Can I be recognized as a spouse?
I think for me, I read it as a formalization of Kuchaya Mapoto. You know that Shona term, Kuchaya Mapoto, and that's what is now being called Mjolo. So, yeah, she's... So yes, I feel it's been formalized by Section 41 of the Marriages Act.
So you don't have to be living together for that period that you're together. People just have to know that you were together.
No, there has to be some consistency in your togetherness, so to speak.
So you have to be seen a certain amount of times, or what? Like, what is the consistency and how is it measured?
Okay. So the measurements are, you live together. So there are some people who live together 3 days a week.
Okay.
Right? That is formal. So in 52 weeks in a given year, you've spent 3 days of those 52 weeks together. You're known to be together, isn't it? Naturally, you have neighbors. Naturally, you have family. The family is aware that you guys exist together.
His clothes are in the house.
His clothes are in your house.
Okay.
Her clothes are in his house.
Morning selfies.
Morning selfies over breakfast.
Walking the dog together.
Walking the dog together. I get money from you because I need groceries, or I need my car fueled. That's the interdependency and financial dependency aspect.
Okay.
There has to be some form of maintenance of one of the two or both. It can be both ways or one way.
So what happens if it's a hidden thing? Like, let's just say there is financial benefit, but it's hidden. There's no clothes over my house. There's no morning selfies over breakfast. But that situation is there.
It's
What
not
will happen?
legislated for.
I feel like the new Marriage Act actually is given more leverage to men, and still our generation is growing up in a patriarchal society, so people are still getting married. A lot of my friends have gotten married recently. People are getting married more, and also divorces are like also rising. So I really don't think the new Marriage Act has really changed much, because either way, women are on the losing end.
I would also require some education in that particular area, because I haven't seen it. But what I read, Section 41, there are elements that must be met for you to be considered to be in a civil partnership.
All right, law aside, what do you think?
Sure.
Is it
That's a heavy question.
What do you think?
Let's ask her that.
I don't know, because considering humans are humans, and the way families can be rogue, and the way friends can switch, right? Let's say I don't have many friends. Let's say it's just us, right? And I'm dating Thomas for...
Sorry, Thomas.
Yeah. Dating Thomas for 6 months, right? Then let's say, I mean, as childish as I fall out with you, fall out with you, fall out with you. When it comes to backing up that relationship, because people are people, you're not assured that they'll step up and confirm that. So like what she's saying, even in terms of keeping it like low key and stuff, because you've got the right to do umjolo things on the low. So if you keep it low key, you're actually putting yourself in a situation. So would you advise that, like, people are out, like you said, take the selfies and stuff, like put it out there and let people know that you're in this relationship, for the fear of if that were to happen? I don't know if I'm...
Okay, I hear you, but my worry is I believe a relationship is between two people. Mm-hmm. What they do with that relationship is theirs, right? There's that risk that there's no recognition of the relationship, be it a marriage, be it a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, whatever it is, there's that risk that there's no recognition. But at the same time, the reason why I believe this law was put into place, I think I should just air it out just for the sake of... There are instances where women who were what were termed side chicks, small houses and the like, were actually investing in the men that they were with. And in them investing in the men that they were with, that man was reaping benefits, which were also feeding the formal union. Yeah. And then at the end of that relationship, for some reason, women, unfortunately, when they enter into a relationship and when they're engaged, they tend to want to give a lot, more than they take. So they'll register the company in his name, or in his children's name, or in whoever's name, right? So when they leave that relationship, there's nothing that they've benefited, but they've given so much time and energy towards this person's development. So I suspect, this is my personal suspicion, that was the reason why that came into force. Because they realized that we're leaving our girlfriend, the men, I don't know. We're leaving our girlfriends to hang after we've decided to go back to our wives or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thought that went through their heads.
Chichi?
Jola, formally getting married is the same thing. The difference is just that but if you look at these things, Micholo, and the formal marriage, that was 6 or 9. It's like this. It's the same thing.
Please say something.
I'm just happy the law got involved in this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are getting shortchanged. Like what Ntando was saying, they will be in a relationship for so long in secret. And when the guy decides to go back to his wife, they get nothing out of it. So at least when you date somebody for that long, when they decide to go back home, at least you can get something out of it. You're just not jolaring for the sake of jol.
But what if it was a mutual agreement? I say, hey, Thomas, you know what? I'm married, you're married. But I feel like we can have this other benefit from both of us, whether, I don't know, whatever form of benefit that you can never think of. So we formally, mutually agree to this benefit between me and Thomas. But then Thomas decides to breach that mutual agreement. But remember, we are still low-key. There is no evidence that me and Thomas had this situation. But then this situation has now blown out of proportion, the Queen's language, Jesus, proportion. So now I can't claim the things that the mutual agreement had initially. What then happens? Me and Thomas invested in this. Both of us.
But only the two of you know.
Only the two of us know. No. Only me and him know, because initially it was a mutual agreement. Kuchichi, my sports.
This is not Jolo, it's like robbery.
So now, in the
like emotional
part,
robbery, in fact.
we figure out, like both of us figure it out. But then it favors, or Thomas is in an upper hand to make the deal come through, and he actually does. And then we decide to say, we can no longer have this situation-ship. What then happens? Our relationship was not recognized, but we have this thing going on. What then
And
happened?
there's nothing to substantiate.
There is
Who
nothing.
signed?
There was no sign, because we were low-key. It was just a mutual agreement.
I mean,
Say,
you remain
Thomas,
low-key.
me and you are now, you know.
Cry low-key.
Move on low-key, because nah, there's nothing.
Because
I
you
want to
can't.
find out if, like, okay, partners in a civil, what's it called, civil partnership. So if I'm a woman in a civil partnership, am I entitled to the benefits of a person who is in a legal marriage? Yes. So if my civil partner is not maintaining me, if I want to take legal action to say, "Ndukuda ku maintain one," or I've put in this much of my time and chichichi, wakandisisa chikoro ndishakusogara kumusha kwenyu, whatever, and then I say ndukuda ku compensate kwa. Can things like that actually happen?
That's what we were talking about just earlier when we were talking about the Matrimonial Causes Act. It now applies to civil partnerships. But you have to meet those criteria that I mentioned earlier. If you fail to meet that, then who are you showing that
Are you
this is
close
what
at his house?
this is what
Guys, I'm not
Do you
talking
have
about
his
me.
dog key?
We're asking just, general questions.
But I liked what Ntando mentioned earlier. She spoke about a married man and a married woman having this partnership. It's happening. It's real. There are married men and married women who are actually in a relationship, who know the other person's family and whatnot and whatnot. And they're continuing with life, and they actually do have businesses and they do have setups. Yes, there are those instances where it's a secret, but there are also instances where it's known that there's this relationship outside of the marriages that the two are in.
I think we're just screwed. Men and women are screwed. All these contracts, the different partnerships, I think we're just screwed.
So I also need to ask, if a man is married, like legally, what's that, 5'11"?
Okay, we'll fix that.
I was going to say 9/11.
5'11". If he's married, let's say maybe their marriage gets to be dissolved, him and his spouse, they get half of whatever they had.
No. You see,
I want to move back to that person being with another person.
what's the question? Come again?
Okay. We were talking about somebody being in a civil partnership with, let's say me, I'm in a civil partnership with a man who's married.
With Thomas.
Yes. Is it recognized if Thomas is married not under customary law but under, what's that?
The civil marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the New Marriage Act did, it collapsed customary marriages and civil marriages into one act.
Speaking of, please actually explain after that. Please explain customary marriage.
Because civil marriage is a person allowed to be polygamous.
No, they're still not allowed to. They're still not allowed to be engaged in customary marriage. 5(3) of the New Marriage Act says there's this marriage, there's a civil marriage, there's a customary marriage, but a person who is in a civil marriage cannot be engaged in a customary marriage.
But if someone is in a customary marriage, can they go out there and do a civil marriage? And will that rule out the civil marriage? Hold on, the customary marriage.
Right, I'm overwhelmed. Let me start with Rudo's question.
So now we know what civil, we know what the civil partnership is.
Okay.
Right. So now let's unpack customary marriages.
A customary.
And exactly what goes into that.
Okay, so a customary marriage is a marriage between a man and a woman, and there are things that must be made for it to be recognized as a customary marriage. One, you must have some sort of gathering of the families, and you must do a list of lobola items, groceries, whatever. Some instances, it differs from family to family. right? The second thing is there must be witnesses. Obviously, that's the gathering that is present for it to be solid. But then now, in terms of this new act, you have to then go and register it within 3 months.
The cows going home.
The fact that you gathered and you had these issues,
So now,
And you
cows
see
going
some
home,
cows.
you need to.
you go and register within 3
Wow.
months of the date of which you got married. So if you fail to do that, the woman's status as a wife can cease to exist, but the children
What are you
born of
saying?
that union continue to benefit in terms of inheritance and maintenance. Okay? Then coming to your question, if a person is married in a customary marriage, they can upgrade their customary marriage to a civil union.
Solemnization is the word.
No, solemnization of a customary marriage is that act that you did, that performance, the coming together, the payment of lobola, the witnessing, that is the
Doesn't it
solemnization.
have to be under like a registrar or something?
There is a registrar where you go and register.
Within the 3 months.
Within the 3
yeah.
months.
Oh, I see.
But the solemnization and the traditional aspects can take place with your family, and then you go in and tell your chief or headman, or it can take place in the presence of the chief and headman who operate as marriage officers.
Saka. Okay.
Or the magistrate's court.
My question then becomes, what then do you say when you're going to is it register or apply for a customer? Cows went home? What
You know
exactly
what?
do you say?
The law
Because I can't just
the law
walk in.
says that you go, and you go with your witnesses, and then once you are there, the registrar can ask you further questions to determine whether
How
there
many
was
cows
in
went home?
fact
Yeah.
a marriage.
Because I can just ask someone next door.
and once
don't
the-
go
once-
out with US, and then they can just back me up. Don't go to Sha. Won't go to it happened, okay? Because we need to apply for visa to the UK, and we need to look like we got married.
Yeah.
So just say we did, and whatever. Here's $1,000.
You see, I think that's where we tend to have like an impasse or the difference of opinions, because sometimes the law isn't particular as to what happens, but there's room to make regulations. I'm sure these thoughts can be incorporated in regulations. So when you're asking this question, what are you trying to achieve, for the registrar to then ask?
I'm sure you have to also go some form of pictures, surely.
Yeah, let's put it in regulation. Let's think about it that way.
Crazy.
You can just do a photo shoot.
People are hustling, Kaya. You
can
know.
just do a
You can
photo
just
shoot
say,
with your bride
let's
gang.
pretend to be
That is
married.
a very,
Pretend to be
very clever way of
And you can just go and say you got married.
So then, what if I get married customarily, right, and not register it within the 3 months? However, then go and have like a court wedding within those 3 months. Should I necessarily record the fact that I'm customarily married, or it doesn't matter if I then get a court wedding or something like that?
I think it doesn't matter because you've upgraded your customary union to a civil union.
Oh, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just get divorced.
You just go get a divorce.
But okay, let's say you're in a civil marriage. Yeah. Then can you go and get into a customary marriage?
Like a polygamy.
Yeah, but like legally, officially.
Legally, officially, Section 5 says no.
But
Men are doing it. Women are doing it.
yeah.
Women who are married are entering into customary unions. As in, they are civilly married, but
Okay.
they've entered into these civil partnerships. But then the person that they're in relationship with says, "Abane, I want to also come and."
Bring the cows.
So
she's
and they're doing it. These are situations that are happening on the ground.
But can I sue?
So you can get married. Who?
My husband, if he goes and
For adultery.
takes the cows home to some other person.
Yes, you can. Justice Chitapi last week issued a judgment for $10,000.
Oh, what are you saying?
You read it, right?
Eh? You're saying what?
She's to be paid as interbank. To be paid as interbank rate.
Oh no.
Then what you can do? What? Sorry, you can do it.
You can sue for adultery.
But the
When
adultery is
if you're
under
in a
civil,
custom
auntie.
marriage.
No, civil.
Can you
Customary law,
tell
a man
me
can sue,
the
but a woman
stages?
cannot
Me and Thomas are in a civil
Marriage.
Thomas goes to Pauline and have a customary marriage. Oh, not customary marriage whatsoever, but you know, that's the same time that we spoke about earlier. Civil partnership.
Civil
That's the
partnership.
word. So what? I can sue Thomas for $10,000. Is that what you're saying?
Auntie Jess.
I said you can. I said that's an option that's available.
Definitely. I mean, who wouldn't want 10,000 out of a, what do they call it? Civil partnership or whatsoever. I mean, look at it this way. I date you for 3 months, you give me money, and you decide to stop giving me money. And I can actually go to court and say he stopped giving me money. I'll take that chance. Definitely, I'll take you to court. And I'm speaking for a million other people. So yes, definitely, they will take chances. That's what I'm saying. Question
But the
me
law says
with-
you can't sue for bigamy. It says in a very clever way. Because they've formalized the civil partnerships, whether you're in a marriage or not in a marriage. So bigamy is no longer an option, but adultery is. Because Justice Chitapi.
So they need proof.
Bigamy. So if someone goes and marries someone else, I can't sue them.
It doesn't. Well, okay, yeah, it's difficult now.
As a woman.
As a woman.
As a
because
woman.
If it's the other way around, though, how does it go? If I go and have a civil partnership behind my partner's,
You can be sued.
I
but
can
can't
be
sue
sued.
him.
For adultery.
Yes. But
I can be sued, but he can't be
But she's
sued.
the one who's having the relationship.
Marry and all on the other side.
No, adultery in Shanda.
You'll be sued.
Bigamy has been removed, so to speak.
Okay, what's the difference between bigamy and adultery? Maybe that's what I'm
Bigamy is the act of actually engaging into another marriage, isn't it? While you're already married.
An official
Adultery
marriage.
is having. Yes.
So you can only
and
sue for
maintaining
Jolo. You cannot sue for a marriage. So it's giving men actually room to just.
better kutorora ka
Eh,
side
better
piece yake.
kurora.
Better.
So many ways. I feel like we're in a world that's progressive, and that progress is supposed to help us. This kind of progress, I don't know if it's going to help us, because unfortunately for us as women, we're on the losing end. For me personally, it makes me take relationships a little less seriously and just go back into selfish mode. Do me, do what benefits me, and not really invest so much in something that tomorrow will mean nothing according to the law. To a point where I think it's best to just get into these relationships with a backup plan or with a me plan, because the way things are going in our progressive world, it's usually the woman who's going to end up crying.
Better
So
kurora
is it
not
not
to
better to
enjoy.
be
Yeah.
a side piece?
You can actually have the benefits
Is
of
it
romance.
possible?
Side chicks into it.
Also better be a side chick and then get the house, come to the house fully. Yes. Oh wow.
So that there's no more shine. Like if I'm like being married as a woman now, you're just there, but you can have somebody being bigamist on the side and you can't do anything about it.
But he
one
can
school
do
of
something
thought.
about you if you were to.
No, both of you can sue for adultery.
But not for bigamy.
I can sue for adultery if he's to cheat, right? And you can sue for adultery, but bigamy has been removed.
Oh, how,
But how do you
how
marry
is it
someone else without
considered?
cheating with them? I don't even understand that English.
Okay, I wish I could just read it verbatim, but
I
it's so
know.
far. It's so far.
Because when Navango Sangana, then they get married, they're obviously going to have a relationship before they form
Yeah,
a
they
marriage.
cheat and then.
So catch them first
So if I
before they
don't
get
catch
married.
them Pakatepa, and then they make it to marriage point and I've not done anything about
then
it,
man.
then Takto Garisana.
But adultery says still you can still sue for adultery.
But you're saying if it's a marriage that they're in, then I cannot sue.
The term that you can't take to court is
bigamy.
bigamy.
Oh, I see. So I can sue them for adultery.
Adultery.
Yes. I believe that the law is protecting both men and women because it's created an equal platform. It's gender balanced and it applies to both.
Now my question is, okay, there's adultery involved, right? But what if these people have a civil partnership? Is the civil partnership considered adultery?
The only thing that they mentioned as an exclusion when it comes to a civil partnership is the issue of bigamy. Adultery is not, it's not specified. Because it says bigamy in terms of the criminal law.
Yeah, pretty much.
In short, strungonyura either way.
Either way,
Formerly side chick.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Chichi, I think it's very happy.
Look, do you know what? Because every time I told them, they'll look at me like, Chichi's from the streets. What she's saying doesn't happen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tell them.
Believe me, when I read it also, I was like, why? Maybe because of my own personal interests, right? But then as you move in life and you talk to other women and you listen to their situations and whatever, you kind of understand. But at the same time, you don't want that situation for yourself.
Yeah, you don't.
So why is it
You
that
don't
the
want it
law
for
was
yourself,
put
you
in
don't want it
place
for your daughters.
without our considerations?
There was consideration.
There was.
A whole lot of people.
They were public hearings. Sorry, I'm aware that they were advertised.
Really?
Yeah, in the newspaper, on the internet, that you must come.
Public hearings.
That you must come and air your
I
views.
went.
Is that women, whatever partnership or situationship we look at, we are at the losing end.
And you didn't even stand for it.
Nice.
You didn't even. You did not.
She might have been outnumbered by all the side chicks in the room.
Did you raise your hand and say, can we actually go to court and sue this
I
person
fainted.
for 10,000?
No, I'm
So I
kidding.
just want to come back to civil partnerships. So if one person decides that they don't want to be in the partnership anymore, what happens?
So the legal
Am I entitled to get something from whatever we built in the relationship?
Guys, people will be like, there's no building.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
It was a financial partnership
Can I
that
answer this
Cecilia
one
was in. It's in line with what you asked. Cecilia was in a partnership with Thomas. But Cecilia was the only one benefiting. Thomas would pay Cecilia's rent. Thomas would buy Cecilia an iPhone 14. Cecilia was benefiting the entire time. No one built anything. Then Thomas says, Anchana, but because Cecilia had this financial benefit from Thomas,
to a nice life. She was maintained.
what then happens in that case?
What, like, Anega could marry Ike? What?
Can she actually go and sue?
Right.
So,
That's what I'm asking.
Cecilia manages to meet all those issues that I mentioned earlier, she has a financial dependency. It's also legislated.
Thank you.
She must. She must then invoke the Matrimonial Causes Act
No.
because it applies now to them.
Thank you.
It's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
No, it's nice. It's scary.
It means we're not the only ones. We're
all in danger.
Men
It's not natural. People are in danger.
Because imagine if Cecilia says, and then you introduce me to this life.
Yes, maintain it.
Maintain it. And now because Thomas doesn't want, Thomas now wants to stick to Pauline.
Appa, you've been together for 6 months.
Yes, you're taking me to
No,
Zanzibar. Now we are going. I can't go there. Like, do something.
What about my Instagram? What happens to it? Just come to suffer. So
Start taking pictures.
so that my Instagram can flourish. Oh wow. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You know what I think, though? I think a lot of women won't actually act. Do you know why? Society's influence.
I think
Society's influence and the way we are raised in Africa isn't to speak up about these kind of issues. It's to, okay, it's happened, contain it. Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. How do we pacify you? What not. So you won't go to court. I don't know why, what actually led this woman to actually go to the court and say, I want a judgment, and a judgment came from Justice Chitapi. It's very rare.
I'm really glad that
Very rare,
somebody
because-
did stand up for themselves, because I'm looking at a situation where, you know, just the thought of going there and having to defend that you've been with this person and what, and how society will look at you like you're desperate and you're trying to hold on. Where do you get the courage to do that?
Okay, so in her situation, in her situation, she's not a Njolo, she's a wife.
The actual wife.
She's an actual wife whose husband committed adultery, and that's what she was suing for. So it kind of makes sense. But even then, very few women will take their husbands to court for adultery. Very few.
Yeah, because families also
You
start
will be
looking
told
at you
it-
sideways.
There's the issue of pride. There's the issue of your name appearing in the newspaper. There's so
Money
many
over
things that will make you think twice about doing it.
I'll
And
get
you're
the,
literally putting your story on blast.
I'll get the 10,000 and
There'll be
have
some
the
reporter there who
pride
doesn't
under the
have a
bed.
diary.
I'll have 10,000.
Embarrassment.
What's pride over 10,000?
RTGS.
No.
Paid at the interbank rate. It's 10,000 US and so yeah.
It's okay, I can take myself for a holiday.
Can I choose? No, but which currents can I choose?
No, you can't choose. The courts will determine.
But I'm sure, like, you know,
Yeah, 5,000.
I'm sure it's okay. So it's an
okay, even if it
extreme
comes at 300.
comparison that I'm giving. But you know those cases of when a woman, like when you go, those cases of women that's been raped and all of that. The fact that we're sitting here and I think we're like, oh, you do this, you do that. I think the process, I stand guided by you, the process to actually have the justice served or whatever is so long and tiring, and money has to come out, obviously. By the time you're done, you've spent money, you've still lost your man, he's still with that girl anyway.
The
So
girl
like,
is
come on,
posting
after
on
all of
her
that for
IG.
10,000. I haven't.
I'll take my chances.
Then what? Then you just walk away.
I'll take my chances.
Sometimes, you know, when you're broke and you don't have anything to lose anymore, you just be like, let me do it.
You have to say broken.
Occupy you,
Just
keep
do
you
whatever.
occupied.
Broke or broken?
Both, because you'll be broke and broken. So I'd rather not be broken.
Just be seeing the girl posting new bags and everything on her IG,
Hey!
like,
Guys, it can't work. Nah.
But what would you, how would you say, I mean, you're a woman, and at Pink Diaries we try and, not inspire, motivate, all of that. But, I mean, what would you, what do we do?
I don't know. So,
Well, actually,
I'm
I'm actually sweating, guys, we're in trouble. You know,
You guys gonna turn me back into an alcoholic.
when you spoke about the issue, right, and
Yeah.
you told me about customary marriages and you wanted us to look at that, I went back to March and I was like, okay, let's pull out the Marriage Act.
Yeah.
Let's read it. And I was like, but we discussed this. I thought this was changed. And you know, you start to think that, no, it was changed because our voices were heard. But then you realize that your voice is one of 20, right? So you don't know what to do. You don't know what to advise the next person. All you know is this is what's there. Those people. What do you do? What do I say? Pauline, no, don't do this because, no, I can't. Whether you're going to enter into a marriage, a mjolo situation, a civil partnership,
everything has
got its own consequences, its own
basically,
risks.
Did you hear that?
What-
Njolo's got consequences.
What do you think the act was there to change? Because
you're walking out with
what
10,000, that's a
exactly
good
are the
consequence.
benefits? Because, I mean, yes, I can walk with 10,000, but at the end of the day, I'm the only one who's probably going to walk away with 10,000. Paulina Chanyura, Ruda Chanyura, Cecilia would then walk away with the 10,000. Pesha Chanyura. So what exactly was the Marriage Act trying to achieve? This is for me, who wasn't part of the raising of hands when questions were asked.
Okay. I believe that the Marriage Act as it stands today was trying to meet the national objective to have equal marriages.
Equal.
It's there in section 26 of the Constitution.
What's an equal marriage?
Izvozvi zvatakutaura kare. That is my understanding of why we were meeting the national objective. We also have international obligations. Our law was outdated. It was from 19 Chakuti. The language was not consistent with what's happening on the ground. So we're looking at what's on the ground and what is happening. We also need to meet.
Speaking of what's happening on the ground, I remember we ran a story once that said the ratio of women and men. So then looking at that law, does it even make sense? Because at the end of the day, everyone is going to be in some type of civil situation. Because even if we import from other countries, still, as for me,
that makes me realize
Does that mean they're going to
we're-
have another session where we will also go and now start raising hands between your law guys?
I don't know about right now because we've just passed it, isn't it? It's only been passed March 8, 2022.
So that means a lot of wives are going to be going to court.
I don't know. Let's watch the space. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I cannot predict what Cecilia is going to do, what Chichi is going to do, what Trudeau is going to do. I don't know. But I wanted to answer a question that she raised earlier about community of property. In Zimbabwe, we live out of community of property. So what I earn is mine. What you earn is yours.
As much as I support the streets sometimes, I feel like this law is quite unfair when it comes to men, because I think when people are in a relationship and you're benefiting financially, when the relationship stops, it has to stop. There's no need for you to then take the dude to court so that you can walk away with $10,000. I think such things, those because women actually cheat, because it now looks as if it's just a financial opportunity, which if you date me for so long, I'm just then going to take you to court when you leave me so that I can walk away with money. So as much as we support the law getting involved in Jolo,
The benefit of 10,000 other than those. What is community property?
Okay, everybody watches TV, right?
Yeah.
And everybody believes that when a person gets divorced, they're going to share property, whatnot, 50-50. Not in Zimbabwe.
What you came with is what you go with.
What you came with is what you go with. What you brought in is what you go with.
what do you mean it's unfair?
A man will be at work, working, bringing in income. I'm also working at home.
Why are you not going at work?
Because I have to take care of children.
No, put them in school, girl.
That's why we will provide you with a maintenance if you decide to work.
Still, sometimes, this is always a patriarchal society. I'm going to come back home after doing multiple things at work, find my husband sitting there reading a newspaper, and I'm supposed to be doing random things. He's resting so that he has more energy for his day job. And I'm working at home, and then I'm going to go to work and work again.
In that situation,
continue lying to yourself. I like
situation.
So we get divorced, and I just
You
move
walk with
away
your
what I brought
suitcase.
in.
With my suitcase.
No, my suitcase I can do. I'm not takuraga. But I'm feed one. You're being fed.
I'm cooking at my house.
But the food, are you buying the groceries?
I'm cooking.
You're not working, right?
Your housework is way more intense.
You're not working, right?
I am.
You're not working, are you?
working.
No, but
No, as in
I
you're
am
not
in your
formally.
shadow.
You're not
My
formally
housework
working.
should be recognized.
a housewife is actually acknowledged. I think it must be in the West. I think it's just in Africa. It's kind of a woman's obligation to do so. But I definitely think that a woman should be rewarded for her hard work in the kitchen, in the lounge, and in the bed.
Highly offended. All right.
For a man to be at work, to be comfortable and everything, he's eating lunch prepared from home, he's doing whatnot, his shirts are ironed.
Can I raise my hand?
Whatnot. Bro, I'm at home and working 24/7.
This is
now extreme.
As far as I'm concerned, is what my understanding is the matrimonial course is actually,
Yeah.
it will give you a maintenance because you have to eat, you have to fuel your car, you have to get dressed because this is what was happening
What
for
car
you
when
through the
it's
marriage.
taken? Because I didn't walk
I
with it.
didn't get into the
I
marriage.
came with my suitcase.
We don't know that he wasn't giving an allowance. And then from the allowance
This
she was
car
getting,
was
she bought
bought by
herself
him.
a
By him,
By
so you take
All right, let me ask this.
Right.
I walk into a
buy
marriage.
yourself
Of course, I
cars.
have my own things, right? Which are not really much. My suitcases and stuff. Even if it's Louis V or not, but my suitcases, right? And then I'm in this marriage, and then we decide to divorce after. He brought me a Range Rover.
Did he put it in your name?
It is my birthday.
Did he put it in your name?
No. Put my name up. No, it's not on my name.
Oh, all
okay,
right.
which is the situation in most cases. It's not in my name.
You change it.
So, after divorce, even if I bring in evidence that he bought it for me, nothing happens. They take the Range
It's in
Rover.
his name.
He takes the Range
If it's
Rover.
in his name, yes, he takes
He
it.
did.
But if you be wise, during your pillow talk, say, baby, so you said you're gonna buy me a Range Rover. When is it coming? Let me do the documentation. Baby, can I put it in my name?
He's also smart.
The minute that he says no, that's when you know good. You've
Start
got a
building
problem.
something.
You start building on your own. Women must
So
be
what
woke.
really
Yes.
must be done for us to share things 50-50? What should I do?
prenup? Does Zimbabwe
Elizabeth,
So when I walk in with nothing.
So
I'm just saying, does Zimbabwean law recognize a
confused.
prenuptial
Yes, it does.
agreement?
It does.
But okay, will you marry me? I will on these conditions.
Yes. We do have
To
prenuptial
whatever you give
agreements.
me, I will keep even if we get
Yes.
divorced. And if I catch you cheating, I'm taking half of everything. How's that?
No, yeah, I believe.
Yeah,
because
Girls
that's
are watching too much
community
TV.
property.
That's just too much TV.
Netflix.
That's not Zimbabwe.
But so you still get into a marriage, Thomas and myself. I've got my suitcase, he's got his one suitcase. But then together we build something, but there's no document. So besides the car, would you advise that I sign the papers for his business and I make myself, like, let's say, the director or something?
Yeah, there should be something to show that you're present.
There's some
Otherwise, you're
women
just a
who don't
face.
even know what work their husband does. They
So
just
that's
Do you
what
know, you know, the thing that made me want to become a lawyer was
Contour
my
and
mother found a letter that had been written to me by a boyfriend when I was in grade 5. And she said to me, this is what you call incriminating evidence. And from that day on, I wanted to be a lawyer so that I can not incriminate myself. Okay. So to answer your question, Rudo, as far as I'm concerned, if you put pen to paper, you're wiser because you've got something to prove that you're correct in the situation. If it's a conversation between me and you, Rudo, tomorrow I go and I speak to Ntando, I speak to Chichi, I can twist it according to the tune that I wanted to play out. So I believe in.
I just feel that.
Like
But
a
my
knight.
question then still remains. If I walk into this marriage and provided it doesn't work and I would want to walk out someday, what would you advise me to do if I would want to walk away with the 50-50 situation? Of course, I walked with the suitcase, but I'm out here wanting to leave with the property and the Range Rover for crying out loud.
After 17 years, you
but
walk out
what
with a bag.
exactly am I signing? Because
Bro.
ideally,
No.
normally, in a normal situation, I wouldn't know what my husband is up to. He could be stealing gold for all I know, but the man is coming in at home. I don't know what he's doing. The Range Rover is there. I'm living in Brook. Everything is all rosy. I don't know what's going on, where the money is coming from, and I can't put pen to paper, but I want to walk away with 50-50.
Yeah, then you're stuck, my friend.
Oh, wow.
You walk out with your
There's
monarch.
nothing that is more convincing.
Sign, what if it's a drug deal? What am I signing?
No, whatever you're signing in relation to your work.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if he just says no and Skuda?
Awanyura.
Yeah, that's right.
What Awanyura?
You can't contest, you can't.
Who are you contesting?
But Elizabeth, I feel like
So that you walk away with something.
It's a court.
No, like
Yes,
to court, Kuti, way. He was doing drugs and I was
energy for
there. I
days.
was there supporting
You
him
have energy for
emotionally.
Doing drugs and then you get
No,
arrested.
he was a drug dealer. I was there supporting him emotionally when the drugs were not being bought.
Taking kilos.
I was there
Doesn't the law
weighing them and
recognize
everything.
housework
The one
as
thing that you can. We answered this question earlier. If you are in that situation and you don't know what's what, but you're maintained, you're clothed, you're wearing new underwear, you're wearing new clothes, you're wearing lipstick, you're wearing makeup, you're eating, you're drinking, that has to remain the same situation. You have to be maintained.
So you're.
So that one, the Matrimonial Causes Act will still come into force.
Saka, in short,
upon divorce,
if we walk into those marriages, the money should go to side businesses that are not unrelated to my marriage.
Yeah.
So that I do not neuter, because here, I want to enjoy driving my Range Rover. You can't take the Range Rover away.
Yeah, but just be clever, like sign stuff.
Even if I
Sign
can't, if
what
I
you
can't
can,
sign,
yeah.
but there's money coming in, then the option B is me taking that money
Siphon the
and
money.
doing it some things with that money. Confirm no
Offshore
one will
accounts.
incriminate me for anything. If if Thomas brings in the money,
She's telling me to confirm that she can steal.
I am not stealing anyone's son's money. All I'm saying is, this son,
Work with what
someone's
you're
son
doing.
is maintaining me, and my maintenance is $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month.
And he's giving it to
And
you.
he's giving it to me, or he deposits it into my bank account. I can use that money to buy another property. He will not claim it, right?
I like what you
course
said.
not.
He's depositing it into your bank account or he's giving it to you. There's a paper trail in that instance.
So he
With the
can
bank
claim.
account, no, it's her money.
So he can't claim anything.
Once he's given it to her,
It's now
and
mine.
she's gone and done something in her name,
Yeah.
it's hers.
But that's different. Okay, fine. But he's given her the car, but she can't say it's hers. But he's given her money and she can say it's hers.
That's why I said, if you're buying a car, do the pillow talk if you know what you're the one who's not going to have the name. Pillow talk, baby. You know, we also have to talk from societal level. And then when we talk at legal level, pen and paper is always good. But in a situation where you don't have pen and paper, but you've got a paper trail like the one you've just mentioned, that's very easy to prove that I built this on my own.
With his money.
With his money. He was giving me pocket money and then I was buying
So
500
wait,
bricks.
hold up.
No.
So does
Get Elizabeth's number. Get Elizabeth's number.
I need
No,
the
get her number.
I need to ask. This is like sides. This is something on the
I have
side.
a question if you ever give us a
So
chance.
does the court really support girlfriend allowance?
What did you say?
Lungo
You were
Vunza.
saying something about Munjolo. What did you say again?
I think you should thank
I think
Elizabeth. You should thank Elizabeth.
Does Mjolo recognize girlfriend allowance?
I'll
Cecilia, I
take
think
that.
our
Our conversation was better.
No, you're not getting the
No,
allowance.
it doesn't.
It's not coming. It's not legal.
So what is Rumba Bika for free?
Basically.
For love.
Basically.
What? For maintenance later in the event that you leave.
No.
Really rubbish.
Either way, even if I do not cook or wash or clean, I'll still be maintained, right?
Yeah.
So why both?
Because you've
I can't just die. Let me just shake it up for the 6 months and then walk and then be maintained.
Oh, but I'm sure
At
that
least
civil partnership.
you've got a strategy.
She's
well
doing
done.
civil partnership.
Yeah, well, you've got a strategy.
Can I be sued?
For what?
If a civil partnership dissolves.
Okay.
Like what?
If
You want to be the one bringing up money, isn't it?
No.
cheated.
If he can show that he had a dependency on you, that you were the one that was bringing in the money, yes. You can.
No, he was bringing in the money, but I cheated on him. He can't sue
That
me.
cheating really doesn't. Okay.
I think guys, Chichi, we need a part 2 of this, I think.
No, we do.
We need a part 2. We need a part 2.
Sued by anybody.
No, why don't you want to be sued? Because you don't want to be paying that money.
She's not there cheating.
That's then unfair. Because why do you want other people's sons to be giving you guys money?
But she does make it right.
What kind of a question is that?
They were just brought in
No,
just
do
like
you know
to
what?
give us
Because
money.
all of the questions that you're asking, there's this little element of you guys just benefiting. What about
Because we've been dying, washing and cooking and
you
cleaning.
guys are your relationship to benefit? Is it a business proposal?
Ladies, we need
We're gonna
part
get our
2.
hearts broken anyway. At least we can break our hearts.
Sorry, how much does the heartbreak cost? How much does it cost?
There's no fee to it, but at least
There's
get
no
something.
fee to it.
Hey, get something.
Guys,
For me, it costs a range
even
rover.
for people's sons, it's important too. Guys,
For me, it just costs a range rover.
Get money out of it.